At the beginning of part 4, Sora and Amy put up photos of Sora's parents all over town, including their contact information, hoping that someone might recognize them and reach out. Despite asking around and following leads, they cannot get any new information. Later, Amy invites Sora to stay at her house, and though Sora agrees, he insists on covering his own food expenses since he has some money saved. Amy agrees, and as she heads to her room, Sora asks if he can hold on to Amy's phone in case any calls come through. Amy hands it over and goes to bed, but Sora stays up all night, anxiously waiting by the phone. Unfortunately, no calls come, leaving Sora disappointed and Amy surprised to see him still waiting patiently. The next day, when Amy heads to her pottery class, she encourages Sora to come along so he won't be bored at home. As they're leaving, Mamoko spots Sora from a distance and lights up with excitement, thrilled to have finally found him. When Sora and Amy drive off, Mamoko follows them on her bike. In the next scene, we see Sora and Amy in their pottery class. When Amy's phone rings, Sora quickly answers, hoping it might be news about his parents, but it's just a regular call for Amy. Disappointed, he goes outside to sit by himself. Amy, noticing Sora's sadness, brings him a small dinosaur toy to cheer him up and reassures him that they'll find his parents soon. Her words calm Sora, and he begins to feel a little better. After class, they go to a restaurant, where Amy surprises Sora with an assortment of chocolates. She explains that she wasn't sure which kind he liked best, so she got a bit of everything. Sora is delighted, and they start playfully smearing chocolate on each other's faces, laughing and having fun together. From a distance, Mamoko watches them, happy to see Sora enjoying himself, but as she observes their growing bond, she starts to feel a pang of jealousy. Remembering her own affection for Sora that's been there since childhood. Saddened, she decides to leave, but just then, she realizes someone is following her. It's Crean, the superstar she met recently. Mamoko, thinking quickly, grabs Crean's hand and twists it, demanding to know why he's tailing her. Crean nervously explains that he's not been following her long, only because she looked sad, and he was concerned. Mamoko, brushing off his concern, insists she's fine and asks why he'd even care. Crean jokes that while he might be nobody now, maybe he'll mean something to her one day. He tentatively places a hand on her shoulder, only to pull it back, fearing she might hit him again. Mamoko teases him, saying just because he's handsome doesn't mean she's interested in being friends with him. Crean replies, laughing, that at least she admitted he's handsome. He then confesses, half-jokingly, that he feels a mysterious connection with her, as if they were lovers in a past life. Mamoko bursts out laughing, saying she's never heard such nonsense, and starts to walk away. As she's leaving, Crean stops her, noticing a reporter nearby who's been looking for him. Mamoko mischievously calls out to the reporter, nearly giving away Crean's location, which makes him panic and flee. She laughs heartily at his reaction, but once she's alone again, her thoughts drift back to Sora, and her smile fades as she's reminded of the bond he's forming with Amy. In the next scene, Amy is excitedly on the phone, and when she hangs up, she eagerly tells Sora that the bakery shop owner called. He mentioned that he recently saw Sora's parents and promised to let them know as soon as he sees them again. Sora is overjoyed at the news and, in his excitement, casually reaches out to hold Amy's hand, which surprises both of them. Amy quickly pulls her hand back, feeling a bit awkward, and starts eating some fruit to ease the tension, while Sora also begins to feel flustered. The scene then shifts to the following day. Amy is about to meet with her parents, who have invited Kevin, the man they want her to date. She brings Sora along and explains that he'll need to pretend to be her boyfriend in front of her parents and Kevin, hoping that it will make Kevin lose interest in her. Sora, agreeing to help, assures Amy that he'll play along with the act. They head inside, and shortly after, Kevin arrives. He immediately starts flirting with a random girl, true to his playboy nature, known for keeping multiple girlfriends and cycling through them regularly. Watching him, it's clear that Kevin is untrustworthy. Just as Sora excuses himself to go to the washroom, Kevin leaves the girl he was talking to and catches Amy's attention. Amy is clearly smitten, unaware that Kevin is the very person her parents want her to be with. In the next scene, Amy introduces Sora to her parents, who immediately question why she brought him along. Amy tells them that Sora isn't just any boy, he's the one she likes. Just as she's about to call Sora her boyfriend, she notices Kevin standing in front of her, realizing that he's the guy her parents had chosen for her. Her father introduces Kevin, saying he's the son of his friend, the owner of a recording company. Besides being handsome, Kevin is also very wealthy. Amy can't help but stare at him, and her parents assume that she's smitten with Kevin. They tell her to stop pretending with Sora, as they're sure she likes Kevin. Amy, not wanting to follow her parents' wishes blindly, protests, saying, "No, it's not like that. Kevin is good, but Sora is even better." She insists on keeping up the act because she knows her parents are pushing this relationship as a business deal, and what she truly wants is someone who will genuinely love and care for her. Kevin, amused, says, "All right, let's settle this. We'll see who's better, but for now, let's start lunch." As everyone begins eating, Kevin serves food to Amy's parents himself, impressing them with his charm and manners. Amy gives Sora a signal to do the same, but instead of serving her parents, Sora sweetly serves Amy, which leaves her parents unimpressed. To match Sora's gesture, Kevin serves something to Amy, and in an attempt to one-up him, Sora scoops a large portion of noodles onto Amy's plate. This irritates her parents, who scold him for his lack of manners. Nervous, Sora then moves half the noodles from Amy's plate onto her dad's, making him shout in frustration. Panicking, Sora tries to put the noodles on Amy's mom's plate, but she also starts complaining about his behavior. Flustered, Sora finally takes all the noodles onto his own plate and, to prove they're not bad, starts slurping them loudly, which only annoys Amy's parents further. Kevin, meanwhile, watches the whole scene unfold, barely containing his laughter at Sora's awkward attempts. In the next scene, we find Crean in the middle of a dance routine during his shoot. As he takes a break, a group of fangirls rushes over, overwhelming him with attention. Once they leave, Crean has a quiet moment to himself and realizes he's thinking about Mamoko, showing he's truly starting to miss her. Meanwhile, at the lunch, Sora is still clumsily eating. Amy, hoping to convince her parents, leans over and suggests he act more affectionate toward her. Sora hesitates, unsure how to act in love, but Amy encourages him to recall a time when someone loved him and just try to replicate it. Sora thinks back to his childhood, remembering how his mother used to lovingly comb his hair, apply powder to his face, and kiss him affectionately. With these memories in mind, he begins to imitate those gestures with Amy. First, he takes out a comb and carefully smooths Amy's hair. Everyone, including Amy, watches in surprise, taken aback by his unusual approach. Then he gently dusts some powder on her face, just as his mother once did, and finishes with a soft kiss on her forehead. Amy feels a bit flustered, and even Kevin is caught off guard by the display. Her parents exchange skeptical glances. Finally, Amy's parents confront her, revealing that they've spoken to her building's watchman, who told them that Sora only arrived a couple of days ago. Amy admits the truth, explaining that Sora isn't really her boyfriend. She then tells her parents that she staged the act to avoid having her future decided for her. Amy wants to choose someone who genuinely cares for her, someone she can feel a real connection with. With that, she takes Sora by the hand and leaves, making it clear to her parents that she intends to take control of her own life and decisions. Kevin realizes that Amy is an innocent girl who has likely been single for a long time. Understanding this, he decides that he will win her over and marry her. He assures Amy's parents that he will befriend her first and then slowly make her his own. Hearing this, Amy's parents are pleased, thinking that Kevin is the right choice for her. Back at home, Amy is very upset. Not only did things not go as planned, but her parents now know that Sora isn't her boyfriend. She worries about the pressure her parents will put on her to marry Kevin, unaware of Kevin's true nature. She's unsure if he's pretending to be a perfect match just because of his business skills. Sora, sensing her frustration, offers a way for her to release her anger, suggesting that she punch him in the face. Amy, initially excited by the idea, pauses before going through with it. She just can't bring herself to hit his innocent face, despite her anger. In the next scene, Sora is at a convenience store when Mamoko approaches him. She strikes up a conversation, asking if he's from Japan, to which Sora replies affirmatively. Mamoko shares how nice it is to meet someone from her country in another place, and as they talk, She picks out her favorite chocolate and hands it to Sora, claiming that she knows he likes it too. Sora is taken aback, asking how she knew this. Mamoko smiles and says she can read minds, joking that she also knows Sora likes to eat sashi with noodles. Sora, still surprised, moves closer to her, but then quickly apologizes, feeling as though he had overreacted. Mamoko laughs and admits she doesn't have any special powers. She was just guessing since most people like sashi with noodles. Sora laughs, acknowledging she was just joking, and they continue chatting. In a way, Mamoko has made a new friend in Sora. As they walk home together, Mamoko asks if there's someone in Sora's life who's always taken care of him, even though they've never met. Sora answers that there is someone like that, someone he has never seen, but has always been there for him. Mamoko, curious, asks how Sora would feel if that person showed up. Sora replies that he would definitely like them. He then quickly says goodbye to Mamoko, hurrying off as he has to leave. Mamoko watches him go with affection, happy with their conversation. Back in her hotel room, she reflects on the interaction, feeling a sense of joy. She believes that Sora will eventually like her once he finds out she's the girl who's been secretly looking out for him all this time. However, she knows she can't tell him yet, as he might think she's part of Mr. Soji's team and hate her. So, for now, she decides to keep her secret. And with this, Part 4 comes to an end.